Do you like beets? I don't remember liking beets when I was a child, but I sure do like them now. I like them steamed. I like them pickled. Beets are good for digestion and the heart. Not everybody likes them, and we're going to address that. Why should you incorporate beets in your diet? Well, that's what the next 20 minutes is going to be all about. So I'm Mary Bourne. I'm a traditional naturopath. I love sharing natural remedies with people. That's what my channel is all about. Natural remedies have been around for hundreds, even thousands of years because they work, and they work on humans and often pets. As a traditional naturopath, I've learned to look at plants in a way that is called the signature of the plant. And if that's considering the color, the shape, where it's growing, the environment with which it has to grow. So many of these things make up how this plant can be used and support good health. So if you look at beets, well, they're kind of like heart-shaped to begin with, but also they bleed red. So I can see where the old timers used to think, hey, beets must be good for the heart. But now it's been backed up through science, and we're going to go through some of that today. Food is our medicine, and beets are one of those examples. It not only provides you with good nutrition, but it can aid digestion and circulatory health. Most people are under the impression that when you have stomach distress, it's because you are under acid, or over acid rather, when in fact it's because you're low acid. And I have a whole class on this called Tummy Troubles, and I'll link it in the description below underneath Show More. So this low acid is called hypochlorhydria, and it has to do with poor food choices and eating the wrong foods, eating too much of the wrong foods. And it comes up as a distress where you're burping and you've got this sour stomach, and occasionally something will come up from the stomach and burp up into your mouth, which is really unpleasant. And we'll talk about why that is not only unpleasant to the taste, but not very healthy for the body. Now, we know that when people age, they lose their ability to digest really well. In fact, at 50 years old, you're about 50% of your capacity to digest well. And 70%, so on and so forth. So this causes numerous health problems, and you can see why as a person ages, their health diminishes, and often chronic chronic diseases will be a part of life, but they don't have to be. And unfortunately, we've been inundated with wrong information. When we take in acid blockers, this whole situation becomes worse, because acid blockers prevent the stomach from having the right pH in which to digest. So there's two things. There's enzymes and pH, and that's what's going to determine how healthy your digestion is. So when we look at pH through the digestive tract, we look at the mouth, which is 6.2 to 6.7. If you do a litmus paper test, you'll be able to determine what the pH in your mouth is, and that's slightly acidic. When you get to the esophagus, this is considered neutral. 7.0 is just smack in between acid and alkaline. So the mouth is slightly acid, and as you digest, that acidity has to quickly change to alkaline. Now, this may look like not a big deal, but this is logarithmic. And so each point, whatever, is accelerated by that. So 7.0 is a huge difference between 6.2, 1,000 times difference, in fact. So when you get to the stomach now, you've got a 1.5 to 3.5. So it normally at 1.5, but when you bring in food, it changes the pH, sort of like when you're boiling water and you add something to it, it stops the boil and then it has to build up again. So as we swallow food, this alkalinity increases. Now, it is no wonder why people have burning in their esophagus. You know, if you took the acid from the stomach and put it in your hand, you'd actually burn a hole right through your hand in just seconds. It is that acidic. It's so very acidic that there are protective devices that are naturally there in our body. So in other words, the mucous membranes actually protect the body from these different acid levels. So if you ignore this, that mucous membrane can be injured, and then you're burning the inside skin of the body. And there's a sphincter muscle that stops the stomach from burping up these acids into the mouth. Excuse me a minute. Got a frog in my throat today. So this sphincter muscle can get injured when we eat too much, when we eat too many starches, when we're not digesting well. And so then it creates this opening that allows the food to just freely travel up. Now, the pH gradually increases in the small intestine from the pH of 6 to about pH of 7.4. So the small intestine is actually quite alkaline. And then when it reaches the rectum, it should be, once again, 6.7. So the mouth and the rectum have pretty much the same pH, but look at the differences in between during our digestion. So beetroot and beet top are extremely beneficial to support this, because beetroot has betaine hydrochloride in it. Now, betaine hydrochloride turns into hydrochloric acid when it's in the stomach. And hydrochloric acid is what helps digestion and helps keep that pH at a good digestive level. So the young greens can be used in salads and smoothies or juiced for great health benefit. You can also saute them alone or with other veggies. And the roots, we're going to talk about some wonderful ways that you can use the roots, but they can be shredded raw, they can be cooked or pickled. So these are a very, very beneficial food. They support digestion as well as circulation. So now if you combine beetroot and L-arginine with, it creates something called nitric oxide. Now, nitric oxide is produced by many cells in the body. However, its production by vascular endothelium is particularly important for regulating blood flow. So what does this mean to you? Well, you need blood flow for good circulation. And because of the importance in vascular function, abnormal production of nitric oxide, as occurs in different disease states, can adversely affect blood flow or other vascular functions. Sometimes it's not only the food we eat, it's the medicines we're taking. There are a variety of reasons why we are deficient in nitric oxide. And you can do your own research. I encourage you to look up nitric oxide and see how important it is. So here's the good news for those people who hate beets. So this wonderful drink, my husband hates beets, but he'll drink this every single day. It tastes wonderful. It's got pomegranate citrus flavor. It helps to improve his energy. When you take it, when you exercise, it increases your capacity to exercise and your stamina. It supports optimal brain circulation, healthy sexual performance, cardiovascular and heart health function, and healthy blood pressure, and also decreased body fat. Now, I have a link in the description below, so it can help help you get a 25% discount on your entire order. So some people notice a difference within 30 to 60 minutes, and other people notice a slow increase of energy, but a gradual and wonderful feeling of well-being. So one of the reasons I present these videos is to help you understand the importance of using fresh ingredients and making your food at home. When you do this, you know when what's in your food. And I trust this company because they are so adamant about quality and sourcing very good organic sources. So now here's two of the things that people used to think came from Russia, but actually the origin was the Ukraine. Now, borscht soup. I will leave a link in the description below for recipes. This particular person also gives you a history of her Ukrainian heritage and how she made this soup with cabbage and onions and carrots. It was way different. I'm thinking it would probably taste a lot better than the borscht I experienced when I was visiting Russia years ago. And then something else from the Ukraine is a fermented drink called kvass. And I will link Mary's Nest, where she talks about kvass and shows you how easy it is to make and how delicious it can be to taste and how it helps improve digestion and circulations. Fermented foods are very healing for the gut and also supportive for the immune system. So whether you eat them raw or juiced or cooked or fermented, I hope you try adding some beets to your diet. If you totally don't like beets, then you can try the Rejuvenate, see how you like that. And however you choose, your body will thank you for adding this superfood to your health regime. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation on beets and that you share these videos with your friends. Like, comment, please, subscribe, and share, because everybody needs to know the benefits of how your food impacts your health. And if you need specific help, please email me, Dr. Mary at bornforhealth.com. And remember, food is our medicine, but it can also be our downfall. So make sure you're choosing nutritionally dense food that contributes to your good health. And the purpose of these videos is to help you understand that herbs and food help your body and our body get into balance. Disease occurs when the body is out of balance. Doctors prescribe and diagnose disease, and that is not the purpose of these videos. Natural medicine works on getting the body back into balance, whether emotionally or physically, and many times those imbalances are due to a lack of knowledge. So people need to know how to help their body stay healthy. So please like and share these videos so that others can be healthier through natural methods. If you would like to comment below, I sure would love to hear from you. Maybe tell me how you've used beets and if you've tried any of these things that I've suggested. So get control of your health by focusing on herbs and healthy eating. Be thankful for the people and all of the lovely flowers that are bursting forth in bloom through this springtime. Thank you for viewing. Until next time, this is Dr. Mary for the health of it.